Here are two devices I have been testing for some time now, the Redmi 9T and the Samsung Galaxy A12. I'm going to tell you guys which best suits your needs since they are similarly priced. I mean, this is going to be a straight to the point comparison video. And so without taking much of your time, yo guys, let's get started. So guys, before we jump into the meat of this video, I know I have been MIA for some time, but that's because I had a lot of work to do, and also we did move into a new space and I've been trying to put things in place for more efficient production. But then we are back now and I promise more videos, more tech videos on this channel. So back to this comparison video for the smartphones. The first similarity about these devices would be the prices, as there's just about $8 to $10 difference in price between them. I got the Samsung here for 78,000 Naira, $195, and the Redmi 9T for 75,000 Naira, $188 or thereabouts. I will talk about the specs, but first off, let's go back a bit to the boxes and accessories for these devices. We get to see similar accessories from within the boxes of these smartphones. The smartphones themselves, USB-C cables, user guide, SIM ejection tools, fast charging bricks, and where things begin to differ is the earphones that come along with the Samsung. You can't find it on the Redmi as is customary for their cheap devices. And also the Redmi gives you a TPU case, which isn't present in the A12's box. Now, as far as design goes here, I would say it is a matter of personal preference. I mean, the Samsung does it for me. You might feel it to be a little weightier than the Redmi, despite the Redmi having more battery capacity. But like I said, I prefer the texture and matte kind of finishing from the Samsung. This is not to say that the Redmi isn't beautiful in its own right. You get the reflective textured background also, which is very beautiful. In terms of the feel for use, the Samsung is definitely more comfortable for me. We have different arrangements for the ports and I/O here. Both devices retain the 3.5mm jack ports, with the A12s at the bottom and the Redmi at the top, where its IR blaster is placed alongside the secondary stereo speaker. While still at the bottom of these devices, you get their microphone openings, USB-C port, and down-firing speaker grills. Both have their dual SIM trays with dedicated micro SD card slots to the left, while the right sides have the volume rockers. The buttons on the Samsung actually feel better, more clicky. I mean, better for me. And you also have the side-mounted fingerprint sensors on the right side for both devices. For the displays, you get a full HD Plus resolution on the Redmi, while the Samsung gives you a little higher than HD at 1600 by 720p. Color reproduction on these devices gets me going to the Samsung yet again. Even though you get more pixel count from the Redmi device here, the Redmi display is a little warm and has more red to it. Another thing I noticed right out the bat before checking the specs was that the Samsung is considerably brighter than what you get from the Redmi 9T. But when we talk about durability and details in the display, the Redmi is a device to pick due to more pixel per inch and the Gorilla Glass 3 protection on the smartphone. Both are definitely IPS panels with dewdrop notches, nothing too fancy. In fact, the design feels dated at this point. For durability, I'd go with the Redmi 9T here, while in terms of colors, I'll pick the Samsung over the Redmi. Moving over to the sound quality coming off these devices, the Redmi clearly takes the lead here. Louder sounding audio and generally better audio output, owing to the fact that you get a stereo configuration on the Redmi device, one speaker at the bottom and the other at the top here, giving you a stereo or dual audio output. Before we talk about the performance here, these are the specs for the smartphones. Memory are both at 4GB of RAM and 128GB of internal storage for the variants I have here. Performance is significantly better on the Redmi 9T. It features the Snapdragon 662 processor, which is considerably better and newer than the P35 you get on the Samsung device. I actually wonder why Samsung had to go that route. A peek at gaming reveals that the Redmi gives you better performance and less lags than you get on the A12. In fact, it is known fact that developers actually optimize games for Snapdragon processors more often than they do for the MediaTek counterparts. If performance is the major reason you might want to pick either of these devices, look no further, as the Redmi is the way to go. And this also transcends to the battery life you're getting on these devices, as the Redmi gives you a 6000 mAh battery capacity coupled with a great performing and efficient processor, giving it over a day's use on this device. It is a battery beast and takes you just a little over 2 hours to charge this device using the 22.5 watts fast charger, which you get from within the box. Now, this brick charges the smartphone at a peak power of 18 watts. The 5000 mAh battery you get in the Samsung Galaxy A12 box can charge this device from 0 to 100 in 2 hours using the 15 watt charger included in the box. and that takes you through a day's use, roughly 8 hours screen on time. Cameras on smartphones are definitely deciding factors when getting a new smartphone. And for these ones, we get 4, that is a quad camera configuration at the rear of these devices, which are similarly spec'd. Both have 48 megapixel main sensors, 2 megapixel macro, 2 megapixel depth sensors. Where the A12 takes the lead in terms of specs would be the ultra-wide, having an 8 megapixel sensor as opposed to the 5 megapixel ultra-wide on the Redmi 90. Without having the Samsung for comparison, the photos coming off the Redmi seemed kind of decent until I had the Samsung in hand. The A12 clearly has the better photos which look truer to life than all the warm photos or images you get from the Redmi 90 for some reason. You get images that are almost always warm in temperature from the Redmi 90. This might be some people's choice, but the Samsung is definitely more people's choice. Of course, not forgetting the ultra-wide, they can come in handy in situations or in some situations, yeah, but wouldn't be my go-to cameras. I wouldn't really talk much on the macros and depth sensors as I think the Samsung still does a better job here. Moving over to the front-facing cameras on these devices, both are still decent, spec'd at 8 megapixel sensors and have their approaches to processing images. You get to see a somewhat more processed image from the Redmi, giving you that beauty kind of effect, while the Samsung A12 yet again brings more life and detail to the images and didn't go the plasticky looking portraits from the front-facing camera like the Redmi does here. At this point, it actually feels like I'm bashing the Redmi camera here, but it is glaring that the A12 takes the lead in this department. Over to the video side of things, both record up to 1080p, 30 FPS for the videos, and here as you can see is the sample video from the rear cameras, which I'd love to know your preference in the comment section below. For the videos coming from the front cameras, here you go. Hey guys, Oscarmini here, and this is a front-facing camera video test or comparison between the Samsung Galaxy A12 to my right and the this is the Redmi Note 90 here to my right, and the Samsung Galaxy A12 to my left. So the audio you guys are hearing right now actually coming from both of those devices. What do you guys think about the color reproduction here? This one looks a little yellow, the Samsung phone here, while the Redmi looks kind of red. But let me know what you guys think about this cameras in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. With every spec, performance and benchmark out of the way, you know, the price is a huge determining factor to pick up any of these devices. Both are similarly priced. I think I've said that earlier, with a $10 difference in price. 75,000 naira or 188 bucks for the Redmi device here, and 78,000 naira or 195 bucks for the Samsung. So what are my general thoughts on these devices? Well, I wouldn't want to say these are exceptional devices in any way, but heck, for less than $200, you've got something going on here, especially when you consider what the Redmi 90 has to offer. I mean, in my opinion, this is better value for money with all the bells and whistles. You know, the IR blaster you get on this device for your remote control, Gorilla Glass 3 protection, a better performance in terms of the raw CPU power and all that. But despite the better performance you get from the Redmi 90, which is significant, I will still go for the Samsung Galaxy A12, my opinion here. Now, I don't think a lot of people getting sub $200 devices are really performance crazy. The P35 processor on the Samsung would pretty much get their tasks done, a lot of them. I also prefer how the A12 feels when I hold it. The vibration motor also, which is actually stronger than what you get on this device, if that's something you're into. And guys, it's got a better camera system, which is something a lot of people in this demographic would rather get. Generally, Samsung feels more classic, stylish, elegant is the word. I'd love to know your thoughts on these devices. Which do you prefer? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that and you found this video helpful. Other than that, it's goodbye, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Kawaii that day.